Boom. Hi, people. As you know, it's going to take a minute for people to come in. You'll see them come in up here.
Okay.
And we'll give it a minute. And then as soon as, like, I don't know, give it about 30 seconds, and you'll see the counter start to go up because people like to watch.
Usually on the watching side.
We'll turn this all the way up, make sure everybody can hear us. Hey, let me know if you can hear me. Say something in the comments. Hopefully you can hear well because I don't have the headphones with the mic. And I'm going to do my usual tag to website.
I think I would like autofill it.
I can do it on my computer, but during the wintertime I will. But as of right now, I just want to speak to my Facebook crowd while it's nice out.
It's extremely nice out.
It's like a perfect day. BeardedBeanCoffeeCompany.com. Hello, Kendra. How are you? Let's give you a wave. Nikki, hello. How's it going, people?
I don't know any of these people.
John, what's up, buddy? I used to work with John. He's a cool guy. He's super chill. College John.
Oh.
Did you? He didn't work there anymore? He got smart? We'll start talking. Okay, we're at 10. We can start talking about stuff. So what's up, people? How's it going? I had an original plan for today. Before I start, somebody let me know if you can hear. If everything sounds okay, let me know. If it's too quiet or if it's too loud or what. But somebody say something in the comments and let me know. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, cool. I had a plan today to talk about meeting a life goal with one of my friends who completely changed his life, but it's really hard to get him to come out of his comfort zone. And he's the type of people that I do these videos for. That's why my wife is here. Hello, Paige.
Hi, Paige.
But people who seem to have a certain amount of stubbornness about them when it comes to doing things that are good for them. I can't imagine anybody else.
I feel targeted right now.
She said him, and then she said hey. So.
Rebecca Page.
But that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about getting out of your comfort zone, what that feels like on both ends from start to finish, I think. And I was really hoping to get my friend Jesse on here today, but I think he got some cold feet. But I'm going to keep trying to tempt him to get in here and tell his story because it's very important. Hello, Brittany. How are you?
Paige, it is fine. It's fine.
I really want him to tell his story, and I really want you guys to know what his story is all about because it's an important story, and I think you'll get a lot of benefit from it. And you know Jesse and what he's done.
Absolutely.
And where he started and where he's at now. And I can't fathom why he'd be so scared to tell his story on camera. Hi, Paris. How are you? Hey, good. How are you both doing? We're great. I'm a little hungry. You need some bearded hot cocoa? Dude, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I've been looking for the right vendor.
Hi, Tana.
Hi, Tana.
I miss you guys.
Hey, Savannah. How are you? I've been looking for the right hot chocolate vendor for quite some time, for like over a year. No, don't worry about it, Jesse. I'm just going to give you a hard time, dude. It's not a big deal. It's not like this is like high production value, like we paid you to be here sort of thing. It's not like we can't do this again. So don't worry about it, dude. I'm just anxious. I'm excited to get you on here, man. I just want to hear you talk and tell your story the way that you told it to me. Somebody's going to benefit from it, man. Somebody will. So I've been looking for like the right hot chocolate vendor for like over a year. And I've not found the right one yet, but once I do, you'll see it come in. Because how freaking long did it take me to find the right coffee blends? It took me a long time.
I feel like you still work on it a little. You're still adding stuff to the store all the time.
Yeah, I'm really picky about it, but that's just me. I'm a perfectionist in that way, unfortunately. I want people to have the best stuff, so I have the best stuff. I do. But what's on your mind? Because this is an uncomfortable thing for you. So
it's not terrible, but it's out of my comfort zone.
Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. I really don't. You're usually the one to tell me why.
Is it just the fact that there are several people staring at you that you don't know are staring at you? Or is it just the fact that the camera is recording and people can watch it, so there's like a sense of vulnerability to it? Or
probably, yeah. Probably that one.
Probably the vulnerable thing?
Yeah.
What's so bad?
I look like an idiot.
Vulnerability is a good one to talk about, because you can talk about that in multiple different ways. So maybe we should touch on that. Because you can feel like emotionally vulnerable. And then I sometimes feel vulnerable, especially with my business and putting everything that I do out there. I used to, but I feel a lot better about it now. Jesse, we love you too, man. Hope you're doing all right, buddy. I hope nothing terrible happened or anything that really got in the way of tonight, but all in all, I hope everything's okay, man. Joe, what's up, buddy? Let's send a wave to Joe. And that was, who's that? Destiny? Hi, Destiny. Let's send you a wave. Anybody else I missed? But any of you guys watching, if you want to come on camera, send me an invite. I'll get it right here on my phone. Eric, what's up, buddy?
Jesse, if I can do it, you can do it.
But if any of you guys have a story that you want to tell, man, if you want to just come in and say hi for a few, or even if you want to ask a question about whatever, whether it's business related or not, you can just send an invite and I'll accept you and we'll talk about it. Ask your question, say what you want to say, or if you just want to say hi, come say hi. But yeah, I feel vulnerable quite a bit, but I learned how to defeat it is the thing for me. And it took me a long time to learn how to do that. But it's hard. It's hard to go out on a limb because it's always the what if that scares us, you know? It's always the what if I fail? What if I do something stupid? What if I look like an idiot? What if I say the wrong thing and sound really dumb? Sort of vulnerability thing. That seems to get a lot of people, and it seems to be a good excuse that people use as a crutch to not do something important.
Correct.
I'm
guilty of that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think we all are to some extent, but I think for a lot of people that vulnerability just carries over to the grave, and I think a lot of the best ideas that never happened are buried in the graveyard, and it's disappointing, and it irks me a lot. Because if you really think about it, think about all the dead people, because at one point in time, you know, these are millions of dead people we're talking about, millions and millions of people that have died over time who had great ideas and never acted on them for one reason or another. And just imagine the myriad of ideas that would have absolutely changed the world for the better. And think about what those ideas could have possibly been. Ha! Look at that. How cool is that?
It's kind of like you trying to get me in front of a camera from age 17 to 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just didn't happen until right now.
You're an actor. Vulnerability is necessary. Is necessary to be, there it is, remotely good at it. That's true. Part of that is, whoa, Jesse, there we go. Let me touch on Robert here real quick. If you never come out of your comfort zone, you'll not know how far you can go in life. That's very true. That's very true. You'll never know what you're capable of if you just lay in your bed all day and don't get up. But as far as like speaking from an actor's perspective, yeah, vulnerability is a definite quality you have to have, but you also have to be able to touch on your emotions and know how to bring those out as well. Whether it's being serious or whether it's being comical or, you know, overly dramatic, whatever you have to do, you have to remember the vulnerability of each of those things and compartmentalize them and bring them out one by one, especially for certain characters. You know, it's very hard for non-funny people to be funny, and it's very hard for non-serious people to be serious. But if you can touch on those qualities and really learn how to key in on them, it's good for an actor's perspective. Yes, very much so.
But then there's like me, who was in, what do you call it? Theater. And I'm a very vulnerable person, and I was terrible at theater because everyone was watching me. But at the same time, I can get on stage and perform a dance recital, and my mind just goes somewhere else.
That's because when you dance, you're speaking to your ultimate strength, and it comes very easy for you. But when you're doing the same thing in the same scenario, but doing a different thing, like speaking, imagine you can dance in front of a crowd of, 10 or 1 million people, right? And it means the same thing.
It's easier to dance in front of 1,000,000 than 10.
Now imagine if you had to do a stand-up comedy routine in front of that same amount of people. Boom, instant vulnerability.
Nope.
That's because it's not what you're good at, which is why you have to speak.
Yeah.
That's why you have to speak to your strengths, and that's why I tell people all the time is stop stressing so much over what we suck at, and take the things that we're good at and double, triple down on them, and you're gonna find something that fits. You're gonna find something that works. I think we worry too much about the things that we suck at, because I suck at plenty of things. I just don't do them, and I don't talk about what I don't know anything about.
Right.
Because I know I'm going to sound stupid, because I don't know what I don't know, but the things that I do know, I know a lot about. So I speak to those things, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah. Let's get Jesse in here. I think we convinced him with you being here. He saw the pretty girl and he said, let me in here. Hopefully his signal's okay. It'll take it a minute, which is
It's
fine.
no different than talking to people out of them.
Hey, Shell, what's up?
Oh, good morning.
What's up, man?
Oh, nada.
Took you long.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, got the dog barking.
That's all right, man.
I step outside so you get more light.
High production value here, you know. We're working with a lot of money with this backdrop back here.
Well, I got a lot of backdrop back here. Oh, there you go. See it?
I'm surprised the police aren't out there tonight, dude.
Yeah. I have no idea where I'm looking at. Should I look over here?
It doesn't
Who
matter.
cares?
People are watching and
You
listening.
look great either way, Jesse.
I know. I think it's the goatee.
Definitely the goatee.
Definitely.
So what's up, man?
So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, yeah. This is so.
She and I
Go
were
ahead.
about vulnerability, man, but we were pretty much going to carry over today, since you said you weren't able to make it today. But I was really wanting you to tell your story, and that's what I was interested in. And you said you were busy, so you know we'll talk about the next topic, and then we figured we'd just get you in next week.
Yeah, let's do that next week because
Man, no worries.
Alrighty.
Like I said, high production value here. This is all scheduled in and on demand, and you're gonna have to call my manager and get this thing switched, and it's just gonna be so expensive, you know.
I'm gonna have to do my hair for next week, so next week Friday. What time next week?
Me too. I like to go about 7 o'clock. I used to do 8, but since it's getting darker earlier, I go about 7 o'clock. So, yeah.
Okay.
Try to get it on Friday. If not, Sunday.
Gotcha.
Think you can make it?
Huh? I'll probably even come down to your house and do it.
Sure, you can do that.
Okay.
Whenever you want, man. You let me know.
Alrighty. It's gonna get loud in here now.
That's okay. You do your thing.
Huh?
That's okay.
I'm talking here. Talking to these people.
Who's that? The hunter?
It's Hunter.
Hi.
And the wife.
Yep.
All right. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Have a good night, Jesse.
Or in between.
It's okay, man. It's good to see you. I'm just happy to see you.
We'll see you.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm glad you chimed in.
Yeah.
So it's easy as that, guys. If you want to come in, just send an invite to join. I'll let you join in. No problem. But yeah, that's why I don't really say much about the stuff that I know I definitely don't know anything about. Because it kind of is a waste of time, and I feel like if I talked about all the stuff that I had no clue about, and then sat here and faked it on a camera like I knew something about it, then I would definitely just come off way worse than just saying, you know what, I don't know. I'd rather just keep it real, man. Aaron, what's up, buddy? We've been good. How are you?
I saw your mom today, Aaron. She's a sweetheart.
But it's also really, really funny to me because I know that you're socially awkward sometimes, but yet you're a server. And
I know.
Those two things don't go together at all.
I know.
And
although being a server has severely improved my social awkwardness.
I would say in the last 10 years of my knowing you, you've come leaps and bounds when it comes to just simply talking to people. Hey,
Meeting famous people.
yeah. What's that guy's name?
Ross Marquand.
Ross Marquand. Yeah. So here's a funny story for you. We went
It's not
to,
funny.
long story short, we met a guy named Ross Marquand. He was in The Walking Dead.
We were at the Walking Dead convention.
Right. I was just going to shorten up the details just for the sake of the story or whatever. But I guess we're not really pressed for time. But we went there and we got to meet Mike. What's up, buddy?
It's true.
Are you talking to me or are you? Okay, yeah, you're talking to me. All right, cool.
I am also a sexy man.
All right, whatever.
It's 2020. I can be whatever I want to be.
10 years. Yeah, I know, man. It's feels like it's been 20. No, I'm just kidding.
Married for 5.
We've known each other for 10 years, but we've been married for 5. And I think we dated for, what, 7?
No, we were only dating
6?
6.
We dated like a year. And then we got married, I think.
Dated
It was
4 months
very
before
quick.
You knocked me up.
It was very quick, yeah. But we met Ross Marquand, and I was able to record a video of he and I doing impressions, and we were sitting there having a conversation. And see, she's already feeling really uncomfortable about this.
No, it's just who I am, man.
But it made it way better. And he and I were having this conversation for like a minute or two, back and forth, doing impressions about stuff. And then he invited Alexa to come in, and he's like, "Is this your wife? You know, bring her in here," and blah blah blah. And asked her what she did, and she said she was a dance teacher. And then he asked her to show him some of her dance moves, and you just see the instant freeze up of this.
I was like,
And then she just goes
no.
like this, and then she goes, "Hey, finger points."
And then I did.
That she finger pointed to Ross.
I
in The
hope he
Walking
always
Dead.
remembers that, though.
And I'm always gonna remember it for sure, because I don't think I've ever felt more uncomfortable in my life.
That's what I do. Had to make it memorable.
And then
Hi, Raina.
Abe's, what's his name?
Who?
Abe, redhead.
Oh,
What the heck's his name? The guy from Southland.
Abraham. That's all that matters,
Abraham from
really.
The Walking Dead. What's that guy's name? Somebody tell me.
It's
I'm drawing
something.
a blank.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
He's in Southland,
I'm gonna look it
redhead. Oh, it's gonna really bug me. Somebody tell me.
Nope, I'm gonna look it up.
Please look it up, because that's really gonna bug me that I can't think about it.
Michael Cutlets.
Yes.
You weren't even there when I was awkward with him.
Well, I thought I was awkward, but I made him bust out laughing, which was really cool. But you saw that, right? Like, yeah. So, those of you who watch The Walking Dead, Abe, Michael Cudlitz, it was a really cool opportunity. I got to meet that guy. He's super chill and really down to earth. But we were there for The Walking Dead, but I was a fan of him from Southland, and I don't know if any of you watched this before, but I did a reenactment right there in front of everybody, just on a whim. Boom. Of this scene from Southland where this lady calls the police because they're out of chicken nuggets, and that's the only thing that she's eaten for the last 15 years. And this lady flips out, so the police are called because of that, because it's a super emergency to her, and they end up like not dealing with it. But I reenacted that scene, and talk about feeling really uncomfortable, because I did this whole freak out scene. Like, I screamed and I was emotional, right? You remember me
I mean,
doing
it wasn't
this thing?
loud, but yeah.
And I smacked the table, and I freaked out, and they're out of chicken nuggets. I've been coming here every day for 15 years, and they're out of chicken nuggets. And I was yelling this thing, and I felt like everybody was watching me, so it was really uncomfortable. And I get out of my zone there, and I look at him, and he's looking at me like this, and then he just goes like this, and he started cracking up, and then he just he finished the scene for me, and he's like, "You should try to fish." And I was So cool. It's the coolest thing ever. Made my day. I'm never gonna forget it. He's the coolest guy ever because of it. But you want to talk about feeling really vulnerable.
Well, he told me that he liked my Evil Dead hat, and I didn't know what to say because I'm awkward. So I said, "Thanks. I didn't wash my hair today." Can I take a picture?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. But it may just be not what you're good at, and that's all right. It's definitely funny. It's good in a funny way.
He laughed.
Yeah, it's because it's hilarious. Like it's one of those things where it's just not, it's just completely real.
Honestly, I'm sure that there are much more awkward people than me that they meet.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, at least I can laugh at myself.
We could imagine there are always like those super fans who would like do anything
probably,
for
like,
him at
cry.
any second. Like, yeah, sit there and cry and, oh my God, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing, which happens.
I
It's
say
weird.
stupid stuff.
We all do. We all do. I have to come visit you guys sometime. Yeah, dude. Wherever you disappeared to, my friend. I haven't heard from you in a long time. You butthead. Nah, we miss you too, man. Hope you're doing okay. I don't even know what you've been up to, man. What have you been up to? Oh, hey Sean, what's up, buddy? I'm waving at all of you who come in here. But if you guys don't mind, you know, I'm never ever. The cool thing is I'm never gonna ask people for money, ever, because I don't want their money, because that's not what I want. But the coolest thing that you guys can honestly do is to just share this video. And that's all that I really care about. Because the more people that see it, the more it touches the algorithm. My ultimate goal is to reach out and help somebody. Whether it's touching on something that they want to talk about and don't know how to ask it, or whatever. If it helps somebody, it helps somebody, and that's all that I want. Hey Kayla, we're doing well. How are you? You seem pretty happy lately. She's with Bobby. Hold on. He's a good dude.
I do not remember him.
Bobby's a good dude. Let's see. You don't respond to my text. That's not true, man. That's not true. Text me sometime and find out, boy. But no, the original plan, guys, was to get in here and have Jesse come in and talk about Jesse and his life story, because his life story is incredible. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the coffee company, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the media stuff. Have you thought of anything that you wanted to talk about? Because you always have questions.
Well,
You ask me a million questions a day, so I figured you'd have never any questions here as well, you know.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know where you wanted to take it, so I was just following your lead.
Anywhere. There's no plan for this. That's the cool thing about it, is it's just completely real. There's no script. And I think that's why people like to watch it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really, literally reality TV. And it's free.
I mean, there's nothing in particular, just life in general. What do they want to hear about?
My group is like super diverse, and they want to hear about everything. And
why don't you ask someone what they want to hear about?
Well, I always offer anybody the opportunity to ask a question. They can anytime they want, and they can always, like just like Jesse did, request to be in the video. So there's a little icon at the bottom, or I don't know if you're using a phone or if you're using a desktop.
Who are you voting for?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Why don't you?
Not that one.
Why don't you go back and play with your sheep, boy? He's from New Zealand. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Do math. Ooh, not doing that.
Math is the single reason I dropped out of college.
Math is one of the reasons I hated school all the time.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I cried a lot over math.
I just didn't do it because it. Yeah, I'll talk about school later, I think.
My first year in college for math, which I was already terrible at, we had a professor who spoke very little English. So when I tried to get help, there was just no There was nothing, no communication going on.
Right.
So I failed.
I talk about school quite a bit. More so, not necessarily like school as a whole, but like school as like how they have it planned out and how it's scheduled out and things like that. That's good that he's good to you. Tell him I said hello. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I hope he's doing well. How's COVID? In my area, non-existent. I hear yours is doing pretty good over there across the pond, buddy. Let's go with the fear thing you had on your about column in your coffee business description. The fear thing. What fear thing? I'm trying to remember what exactly it was. The fear
I have
thing.
no idea.
I'm not sure which fear thing you're referring to, my guy. Anna, what's up? What's up? But I'll definitely talk about it. I definitely love talking about the coffee company. Eventually, probably, this is probably a good idea. You might like this. What's up, little redhead?
Hi, Casey.
Um, Eventually, for you people who do watch these regularly, how the fear of the unknown stops you from doing things, that is,
Which is very true.
that's true.
Guilty.
I can talk about that.
As charged.
But eventually, and I think starting next week, I'm going to make some discounts for you guys for the store. And this is something I thought about for probably a couple months. And it's only going to be for this Facebook Live crew. And so tell me what you think about this. So these people who watch it, you see these, the number of people in here. You guys will be able to snag a discount code for a certain amount of time. Probably for like 4 hours, 6 hours, something like that. And what I'll do is I'll type it into the comment section and I'll just let it sit there. And you guys can snag that code. So there is an automatic like 10% discount in the store, which is really cool. It's like recurring 24/7. You can snag that one, but I think it'll be like a 15%er, and I'll just let it go for a couple hours. And for those of you who watch these, I'll probably throw that in for you, and only you guys will have access to that code. And a couple hours after these videos are done, you won't be able to use it anymore. And I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think you should not type it in the comments. I think you should tell them in the video.
Probably should tell them.
And
I'll probably do both.
they're not going to know whether it's at the beginning, the middle, or the end. Otherwise, they'll just tune in at the end for the discount.
Well, ultimately, it's a win-win no matter what. I mean,
Yeah, but it makes it kind of like a fun game if you have to catch the code.
I can think of a clever way to put in a code like that and talk
To
about
slip it in, so you have to be paying attention because it's just
it. I hope not.
just gotta slip it in. But yeah, that way they have to like catch it. They never know when you're gonna tell them what it is.
That's
They
true.
have to be paying attention.
That's a good point. You do have to pay attention. That's a good idea. I may do that. But either way, you guys are going to get sweet discounts just for watching these things because I appreciate you guys. And I don't know how else to show appreciation besides offering free shit and giving it to you. I don't know what else I can do. So if you guys have anything that you want to request, let me know. I'm happy to do it.
Everyone likes free shit.
Everybody likes free stuff. Free's my favorite F word, for sure. But talking about fear, yeah, I can definitely talk about fear keeping us from doing things. So I probably put off going into business for myself for the better part of a year because I was scared. And there entails a whirlwind of ups and downs that happened immediately in the first year that had I been so fearful to do it, there's Haley's mom. Hey, Libby. But had I been so fearful that I didn't do it, I never would have had the opportunities that I had. A small relapse, we didn't know where it came from, so one state got closed again. Gotcha. That sucks, man. That really
You
sucks.
say he's from New Zealand?
Yeah.
I've been reading about some.
He's a good dude. He's a really, really good dude. We've been friends for like 5 years. Need your artistic eye for a logo. I know, man. I know. I'm sorry. I've got so much on my plate right now. I really do. But your beard is making me giddy. You like that? Trimmed it up myself.
It also makes me giddy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, anyway, got me off track. Good job.
That's what I do.
So it took me the better part of, I wasted a year of time being scared of starting a business, especially an e-commerce business where there's no storefront and everything's online. Um, it was really scary. It was a scary thought. And it was like, can I realistically do this? Do I know what the hell I'm doing? Um, I had no clue what I was doing. I had no direction and I had zero help. The only thing that I utilized was Google and YouTube because it's all free. And that's where I got started. So before I jumped into the deep end, um, I spent a long time doing a lot of research.
Check on the kids.
Okay. I spent a lot of time doing a lot of research, and I spent a lot of time basically just listening. I didn't say a single word about anything. I just listened. And the more that I learned, the more that I researched, the more confident I got in it. And it was an idea that I always wanted to do. It was something I always wanted to pursue. I just didn't know what my personal niche was. And it turns out it was coffee. And the only reason I found that out was because I did a lot of exploring around that subject. And I spent a good year in that time of doing my research, searching for the perfect distributor to sell my stuff. Tell Alexa your favorite Kiwi girlfriend joke. I like to make fun of Sean because he says he's single. So I tell him that his girlfriends are all the sheep that are in New Zealand. And I can't really go into detail, but it involves certain things with sheep that he enjoys. So please don't kick me off, Facebook. I'm just trying to make a living here.
They won't kick you off. They're not telling the truth.
But his girlfriend is a sheep.
That's all right. Whatever you're into, man.
That's what he's still a good dude. I don't care if he likes sheep. Apparently they don't either over there. So, but it took me a long time to find the right distributor. I ordered some samples. You remember when I got those first samples in? Just in those like little what are the gold bags?
Yeah, we got a 50-pound bucket of coffee in the mail.
Yeah. No, before that, like when I first started. I'm talking about like when I first started the business.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
those just the little like 4 ounces, and they're in like little golden bags with just a little sticker on them. Mm-hmm. And when we tried those, I remember your reaction when you tried it, and I remember my reaction when I tried it, and I was like, "Yep, that's it.
That's it. That's the coffee.
That's it." So I picked those. So then I learned how to build a website, and I had no idea how to do that. And I learned step by step how to make it look nice, how to clean it up, how to make it run well, and how to make it end up high in searches. I was really, really scared to do it. Really, really scared. I had a lot of doubts. I didn't know if I could do it. I think I doubted myself more than ever with building the freaking website. Because there were times where I was like working on it, and then there were times where like I stopped and just didn't do anything for a while.
Yeah, got discouraged kind of.
Yeah, I got discouraged, I got frustrated, I got angry, and I doubted myself. But ultimately, I was letting my fear get in the way of making a good decision. So I got over that shit, and I said, I'm tired of feeling this way. This is a good idea, and it's going to work. How many times have I told you that? It's going to work.
A lot.
I've told you that a lot because it's going to work. And I work with him, by the way. What's up, Steve? But I knew it was going to work from the start, and I couldn't let it go. It was something that I thought about all the time. And when I got in my funks where I didn't work on it, I still thought about it. So I knew I couldn't ignore it. Kind of like when I married her, I just kept thinking about her all the time. So just couldn't let it go.
Well, I mean, I'm not a business owner, but I definitely let fear hold you off for 4 years, and you were one of the best decisions I ever made. So
Same.
maybe if I wouldn't have been so scared for 4 years, I could have gotten to that a lot sooner.
That's all right. see you staring at me.
Ah.
But I was very scared to do it. But I decided to ultimately because one of the things that I always told myself over and over and over again was, hey, dummy, listen up. One day you're going to be dead. And one day before that happens, you're going to sit back and you're going to think to yourself, man, remember 50 some years ago when I should have started that coffee business and I never did, and how I'm going to feel telling myself that if I look back on it, because I was so adamant about doing it in the first place. And I remember how regretful I would feel in that scenario. I put myself in that place and it felt like shit. It felt like absolute trash. And just the thought of it made me a little depressed and I didn't like it. So I decided to change it. And so I went for it. Kind of like with her over here. Didn't want to let it go, so I went for it. And it worked out.
For 4 years.
And it worked out. Sometimes you got to chase things for a while to make them work.
Sometimes you have to get rejected by the same thing for 4 years before it works, but it'll work.
Yeah, I chased her for 4 years and loved her from the day I saw her. And I told her, no matter what, I'm going to follow you everywhere you go, and you're going to love me no matter what. And guess what? It worked, guys. No, I'm kidding.
You should do that to every girl ever.
I was persistent. I think the important...
But not in a creepy way.
No, the important part was that I was there. And I was reliable. And I think that was the important thing for you at the time. And I think that was what mattered. We were friends anyway. I mean, yes, of course. I had a lot of feelings for you, and I'm sure at some point you did too. But we were friends, so we were close. So we already knew each other pretty well. But as things happened in your life, and I was just always there for them, it just seems like we got closer over time. And
you were always like my safe place.
Yep, we were always just very close, and then through hard times we got closer, and we're a good team.
Then we made a baby.
Ooh.
Hi, Paige.
Hi, Paige. How are you, stranger?
How's that new baby?
But all in all, man, I'm facing this fears together, and you're rocking it. I need to try this coffee. I will be in for breakfast in the morning. There you go. Rachel's talking to you.
I am working at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, please do try the coffee, though. It is... I'm not just saying it because I own the business, but it's extremely good coffee. I never would have built the business around it if it sucked. I'm not going to sell people a crappy product and put my name on it and vouch for it if it sucks. But it's legitimately the best coffee I've ever had. And I'm going to keep it that way. What do you think about it?
It's real good.
It is. It's real good.
It's double good if you brew it really strong.
Yeah, it brings the flavor out.
Shit machine. I understand.
She's a poop factory, man. We got 2 of them doing that right now.
Coda still blows out every day.
Yeah, up his back, up his neck.
Out the sides.
On the carpet.
On the carpet. In his bed.
Yep.
Poop everywhere, all the time.
It happens a lot, but yeah, going back to the website thing, to finish that up. So the cool thing that happened, I let my fear get in the way for a while. And as I learned more, I ran into this person who ultimately changed my life for the better and influenced me to do great things and pursue great things. And you know this man's name?
Is it me? No. Yes. Gary V.
Yeah. I know, I talk about him all the time. It's crazy, huh?
He has changed you. I mean, I've noticed big changes in your mindset.
Absolutely. That was the thing that needed changing. I had a shitty mindset for a while where I was just down and frustrated and angry at my life because it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. I had to have something that was just mine. You know, granted, we get to share our house and we get to share each other, and we go share our feelings, and we share the bills, and but I had to have something ultimately that was mine and was just of my doing.
Yeah.
And I had to feel like it was, I had to feel like the next day was worth waking up for. And granted, I always felt that way with you, but in a fulfillment sense of my own personal life, I needed something that was worth waking up for. Otherwise, I was going to be miserable.
Well, it's like I wake up every morning and I look forward to my garden. I come out and I check it and I see what needs picked, and it's like my own form of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to make money off of it. I just need my thing. But you have your coffee business.
Yeah, that's my thing. And fortunately, you're a green thumb from heaven, because our yard's full of delicious stuff we can just pick up and eat. And also, people want your elderberry syrup, by the way. You should sell it.
Okay, I need to get more elderberries.
Don't let this woman fool you. She's hoarding jars of elderberry syrup, and
I'm not hoarding
she
them.
is supposed to be selling them to you guys, and she won't do it because she's hoarding them.
I'm not hoarding them. I want enough for us for the winter, and I'm going to sell what's left.
Yep, you're hoarding them. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
It's like liquid gold, so...
Exactly. And people want the shit, so sell them some. So the coolest thing happened once I got over myself and my bullshit in my head, and I started doing something for me that was for me. So I built the business and I built the company. It was a particularly horrible week. I worked a lot of hours. I was very unhappy, and I was very frustrated and angry. Which, you know this. And you'll know what I'm talking about when I tell you this scenario, because you'll be like, oh yeah, that. I was on my day's last break.
I do remember this.
15-minute break. Which, by the way, the coffee's amazing. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. I asked Joe, and he said it was real good. He kind of didn't have much expression on his face like normal, but he's like, coffee's pretty good, dark. And I was like, hey, I'm glad you liked it. And then he just drove away. And I was like, all right, see you later. But he said it was good, so that's all I care about. But yes, it's wonderful stuff. But I was having a particularly bad week, working a lot of hours. I was exhausted. And I was just mad at stuff, just life in general. I was just going through it, Tell him I said, hey, that's a pretty good impression of him. I've talked to him enough already to know. But no, he's a good guy. I really do like him a lot. I'm her boyfriend, significant other. He works with us now, and I get to see him every day.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah, he's super cool. Big gulps, huh? Oh, see you later. I do that all the time at work. Yeah. So bad week, blah, blah, blah. I happened to be on Twitter during my break, and I was going through, and at this point I've been following Gary Vaynerchuk for like 3 years, 2-3 years. He was a major influence in my professional life and the way that I've done things, and really changed my mindset on a lot of things for the better. And I was going through a tweet, and he said, respond to this tweet why I should give you a one-on-one with me, and I'm gonna pick a winner out of the bunch. And I was looking at it, and I literally thought this, is that I said, well, that'd be cool if there weren't 1,300 other people who replied. That's really not worth it now. So I closed it, and I happened to be texting you at that time. And I waited literally 2 minutes, and I was like, you know what have I got to lose? The worst thing that's going to happen is just I'm not going to win. Big deal. And my chances of winning at this point are 0. So I just did it for the hell of it. I was sitting there anyway. I wasn't doing anything important, so I did it. And I said, hey, it would be really cool to have a one-on-one with you and talk about some coffee. And a lot of the people who follow my business also follow you. And for the sake of the following and the community that I'm building, I would love to have a one-on-one with you. And as soon as I hit send, 5 seconds, boom, Gary Vaynerchuk liked this. Boom, Gary Vaynerchuk replied. And immediately, I couldn't hear anything. Just,
You called me, and I still remember
and
the
it's the
panic in your voice, but like in a good way.
the tweet said, "You won." What? That was what I said to myself in my car.
You texted me and said, "Holy effing s."
Oh yeah, I was reeling, man.
And I was
reeling.
scared. I was like, "What?" And then you called me. And you were like, "Holy shit! I'm gonna have a heart attack." And I was like, "What happened?" And you just kept saying that over and over. And then you finally told me.
I
And
had
was
to
like,
calm
"Oh."
down, man. I had to get something out. I had to calm down. So I had to get some of that like adrenaline out of me because I was going through like an adrenaline rush, and so because I fought the fear and I got over my bullshit, I won a one-on-one with Gary Vaynerchuk. And just so you have a picture of how in demand this man is, for you to get a one-on-one with him costs you $75,000. And that's just a one-on-one consulting. And the day that Chris was over here was the day that he called, which is why I made sure I was absolutely available for this man. And it was only supposed to be like 5 minutes, and it ended up being what, like 25 minutes, almost 30 minutes. I got a half an hour with Gary Vaynerchuk for free, talking about coffee and talking about my business and talking about things that I could do to improve it. And it helped immensely. And that changed everything. It literally did. But it really helped to have a guy that you look up to so much after you tell him your story and how you're doing your business and how you're doing on sales and how you're building your community and how you're building your brand. For him to look at you like this the whole time and just nod his head as you're talking, and then at the end of it, not say a word. And while I'm looking at him for some confirmation, I'm just like, oh God, what did I? And he just sits there and he says, "You keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna be just fine."
What? What?
What's up?
Come on. Come on.
Okay, we'll go take care of it. He's so animated. But that was the thing that changed my life. And because I didn't let my fear get in the way, and because I got over my own bullshit, and because I got over my shitty attitude, and I didn't let my shitty attitude run my life, I won an opportunity of a lifetime, and it changed my life. And that's what overcoming fear can do for you. I'm not saying that it will do that, but I'm saying that if you get over your bullshit and get out of your negative mindset and don't let those things dictate your actions, good things are going to come from it. They always will. And I learned that early, especially in my professional entrepreneurial ventures. I learned that early, and I'm glad that I learned it early. And I'm glad that I learned it from my role model and one of the most influential people in my entrepreneurial life. And I'm glad I learned it super early and I got it out of the way. It's really helped me adjust and make the changes that I needed to make for my business, and it really helped me make the changes that I needed to make for myself. So now I go through life and I have no fear of making decisions just because I don't know what's on the back end, which is cool. And it feels great. It feels absolutely wonderful. And I hope that you guys take that into account and understand that that's not just for me. That story is for all of you guys, because I think we're all dealing with something that scares us. We're all dealing with something that we're afraid of, and we're all dealing with some sort of vulnerability. And as it's getting dark, I'm going to close it with this. Listen to my words, because I had to learn it too. And if you learn it now, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. Get over your fears. You cannot live your life being fearful of things just because the opportunity seems scary. You can't let fear dictate the decisions that you make, because if you do, the decision is going to be one that goes against what you actually want. It's going to keep you in your safe zone. It's going to keep you in your comfort zone. And it will keep you from coming out and actually learning anything valuable about life. And it's not always good. Sometimes you're going to make the fearful decision and you're going to eat shit. And sometimes you're going to make the fearful decision and you're severely going to win. I've done both. I've eaten shit, and then I got to hang out with Gary Vaynerchuk. What the hell? All within a year span. In my first year of business, that happened. The second year so far, I've eaten shit because we ran into a pandemic. You know how much my sales have decreased because of this pandemic?
Probably.
66%.
Well, I know you're coming from more of like business, but for me, who's not so business minded, I think of Coda's birth and homeschooling both, because with Coda's birth, we went through a home midwife, so it wasn't a hospital midwife. So there was no option ever to be in a hospital unless there was an emergency. We had to have birth and all that good stuff in a house, and that is really scary because like there's all this like, well, what if this happens, and what if this happens, and this could happen. But it was what I really wanted, and the care from the midwife is what I really wanted. And had I been like, well, what if this happens, so I'm too scared, so I'm not going to do it, I would not have had such an amazing, like, empowering birth experience because I was scared to just do it. And once I did it, I was like, well, that wasn't that bad.
You were a beast. Can I just say that? Beast mode.
True. I mean, you just do it.
I was impressed as shit, I'll tell you that. I couldn't have done it.
And then
This woman doesn't utter a single scream at all. No noise. She just gets it done. And we got a kid like 15 minutes later.
just bellow really low.
Yeah. I was nice. It was awesome.
But then, like with homeschooling, which we decided to do before the pandemic, that was something we already wanted to do. I remember wanting it so bad for a year, and I was so scared to tell you or ask you because I was like, there's no way he's going to be okay with this. He's going to say no, our kids will be socially awkward and weird, and we're not doing it. And so I just didn't ask you, and I second-guessed myself on if I could even do it. And then one day it just hit me, and I was like, if I send my kids to public school when I want so badly to homeschool and don't even ever try, I'm going to be so unhappy with myself later. And so I just decided to ask you, and you were like, that's fine, I trust you.
I do.
And I was like, huh? What? And it was just like, had I never asked and had I just assumed that you would say no, I would have just put them into public school. Not that there's anything wrong with that, if that's what you're into. I just wanted something different for my kids. And had I followed that fear of A, not being able to do it, and B, someone telling me no, I wouldn't have this awesome homeschooling experience that we have right now.
Look at that. Candle power. But you went for
Romantic.
it. You went for it and you won.
I did.
Me too.
And now our 5-year-old's killing first grade.
He's a child genius, I think. I don't know. But that was part of the closing statement because it's obviously getting dark. And that's why I lit this candle out here.
For romance.
For the ambiance.
Yeah.
To keep the bugs away.
We can all sit around the fire together.
But no, thank you guys. I'm doing these things just for free, just because I want to, and it makes me happy, and it makes me happy to hopefully reach out and help one of you who may need to hear something, regardless of what it is. Sometimes we just need to hear something, we don't know we need to hear it until we hear it, and then we're like, oh, I needed that today. That happens to me all the time. But the coolest thing you guys can ever do, I'm not ever going to ask for your money. I'm not ever going to ask you to pay me to watch these videos. It's ridiculous. It's not ever going to be locked behind a paywall. I would never do that to you. 99% of you guys we're all friends. All of you guys are my friends. The only thing I ask for you is, if you enjoy these, if you get some sort of value out of it, if there's some sort of message that hits you just right, just share the video. It's free, super easy to do.
It's so dark out of nowhere.
Yeah, the candle went out.
Yeah,
but it's okay. But just share the video. Um, that's the coolest thing that you can do for me. And I think we'll close out on that. We gotta find some dinner. We gotta get these kids taken care of.
yeah. Code is ready for some attention.
Yeah. Head over to beardbeancoffeecompany.com. There's a 10% discount, Beard10. Type it in at checkout. It'll give you 10% off. Next week, when I talk about whatever Jesse and I decide to talk about, somewhere in the video I'm going to talk about some sort of discount code that's going to be like 12 or 15%, or whatever number I decide to make up, because it's my business and I can do what I want. It'll be in there somewhere. So if you're looking for a really killer discount, here's where you're going to get it. Next Friday. Be there. All right, guys, thank you for watching. We're out of here.
Good night.
Bye.